You guys, welcome to another episode of What's Your Issue? My name is Troy McEady.
Oh, and I'm Darlene. Hello. Ay, ay, ay.
Just to show you guys how the sausage is made here at the Killing Factory, Dara has had technical issues in the past couple of days that would send a person into a psych ward. I'm surprised you're still standing.
It truly, no joke, in a way, it has taken up my entire weekend.
Yeah.
Troubleshooting. And all it is just simply the iPhone continuity camera that once worked so well. No issues. Just stopped. It just stopped. And, we're just so committed to getting you content that I spent my whole weekend figuring it out.
Mommy and Daddy work so hard. We love you so much.
I need a Temple Grandin squeeze after what I've been through.
Yeah. You need a good squeeze box and like a martini.
Well, I got a skinny margarita. Because
is that what I was gonna ask?
Listen, this is a Sunday evening recording that has been in the making for the last 48 hours. So I needed this.
A skinny margarita, carcass out.
Carcass out, mama. Troy, how are you?
I'm okay. I just got back from like walking around. It was a really nice day in New York today, so I like went and ran errands.
Oh.
And yeah, just like little stupid things that I had to do, developed some cameras, things like that. And yeah, and I went to see a movie and now I'm home.
And now you're here with me.
Yes, where I belong.
Oh, yes. Home is wherever I'm in a riverside recording room with you, Troy. I'm just like, I'm completely, who knows, out of it. I do have a charcuterie board next to me. I was nibbling on previously, so I have to remember not to start shoving things in my mouth.
Dara, this isn't a mukbang.
Ooh,
wrong content, honey. Well, before you place another piece of cheese on your palate, I want to ask you a really serious question. I've been wanting to ask you this for 48 hours.
Oh my God. I can't believe we finally get to express ourselves with this most important question. Troy, lay it on me. I've been waiting.
Dara, what's your issue?
Well, my issue is the holiday 2002 issue of ELLEgirl magazine with Cover Goyles, Mandy Moore, and Kelly Osbourne in an iconoclast interview between the two of them. And it's a doozy. It's a real doozerino. Troy, are you an ELLEgirl gay? An ELLEgirl gay?
I'm an ELLEgirl. Yes, you were right the first time. No need to correct yourself, mama. Yes, I'm an ELLEgirl. Yeah, I loved ELLEgirl. Like, to me, this was like, I liked ELLEgirl more than Teen Vogue.
I loved ELLEgirls. I mean, ELLEgirl and Teen Vogue were both two of my like darlings. Though nothing excited me more than getting an ELLEgirl or a Teen Vogue in the mail. And I loved them, especially like it was just like an added bit of fun that they were small. They were small magazines.
Little tiny squares. Like just a little, it made it feel more like a zine. It felt like just a little different than the other ones. And I was obsessed with this magazine. I loved the culture of it. Like, I love that they would do kooky stuff like this, like a whole Mandy Moore interviewing Kelly Osbourne issue. Like, it was just fun. It was a very fun magazine, but it felt chic still.
Yeah, it had all the fashion that you wanted from Elle, but just like directly speaking to you as a teenager. And it was meant for, it was like a nice space between like a 17 magazine or a Teen People, and then between like a real Elle or a Vogue or whatever, because it was specifically for older teens. Like, I was reading it in I mean, I guess not this because I wasn't in my 20s when it went out of print. But like something like Teen Vogue, I was still reading into my 20s.
Yeah, it felt like it really had its finger on the pulse of like who it was trying to target. And yeah, and it was so short lived. So their first issue was in 2001. Their final issue was in 2006. And in recent years where like print media has become more popular to like collect and to get on eBay, it's like one of the more coveted
Yeah.
out of print magazines. And I wonder why. Like, why do you think it's like, I mean, I know selfishly why I would, but like, why do people want this one so bad?
I think I think because it was so short-lived, it almost feels as if like, wait, did that really happen? Like it feels so inside baseball, like it was such a time and a place because it's 2001 to 2006. That's such a small period of time. Like that doesn't even span all millennial ages. Like it's specifically kind of hit for people just in our age group, like a mid-range millennial. Um, and which is what I call like people are starting to call us elder millennials, and it's like, no, 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 no. Even though we're getting older, we are still mid-range millennials. And I think, yeah, it's almost as if, oh, do you remember that? Am I the only one who remembers this magazine? And they're just more coveted because there's so few of them out there to even collect.
Now, what's interesting as I'm reading on their Wikipedia, and it says that they did have a relaunch, but I find this interesting. So they parted ways with Alloy in '08, and they had a relaunch in '08, but it was like blog centered. So they relaunched in like the 2010s and like became like I don't know, like they became like a blog culture kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And then they eventually in 2014 they ended again, and now the ELLEgirl website will redirect you to just Elle. But that's fun that they like
I kind of remember
left.
that but they did not go back into print. It was just online, right?
Yeah, it was like a blog, and that's kind of cool that they like
Yeah.
left print media and then relaunched as like during like the perfect time to be a blog, and then they left blog culture when blog culture ended, basically.
Yeah. Um, and it's also the original iteration of it when it was a physical copy. Hatchet Press was the publisher who also did George Magazine. So a very,
Mm.
very small publisher, that is likely maybe something to do with why it didn't, last as long as maybe it could have.
Was it? This is so random, but was it Elle that Kelly Ben Simone was like this accessories specialist for?
Well, Troy, it I don't know for sure, but I think there's a very good chance that it was because, in the which one was it? The, uh, Ashanti cover, the
Mm-hmm.
person who shot that cover and that photo spread was Gilles Ben Simone.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
imagine if I do the math there.
Yeah.
Ugh, what a time to
Miss
be
Kelly
alive.
Kaloran.
Ugh,
I know, I know. Yeah, definitely more Elle episodes coming in the future because we were like between a few. Dara just mentioned the Ashanti one. The interviews are so fun. They do a
yeah.
lot of like she's get like though like in the Ashanti one. I know we're not covering that one right now, but they're like she's getting her hair and makeup down. So we sat down with her while she was doing that for like a concert. Like they're very like we're backstage with her right now, and she's only talking to us.
Yeah.
I used to eat that shit up though. Like I loved that. I was like, ooh, an exclusive.
Ooh, yeah, it was very, like, it's like you're looking at Elle, you're getting all the same vibes, but it's just, like, tinier because that was such a thick magazine, and this was like, "Oh, we're
Yeah.
gonna give you the same type of article, the same type of profile, but it's not as long."
No, were you right? A little less work for us girls.
Yeah.
Um, were you familiar with this one, the Mandy Moore, Kelly Osbourne one?
To me, this is the quintessential ELLEgirl. Like, to me, this is the most famous cover, um, I don't know, whenever I think of ELLEgirl, I think of this one, and I definitely had it. I had a subscription for a while, and I remember this one. It's a funny article. Of the few that we were perusing to see which one we wanted to choose, this is a really interesting article, a very interesting moment in time between these young ladies.
It's a really interesting time to like capture like where they are in
Yeah.
their careers is crazy. There's so much like unknown and like hope and promise in their futures. Like Kelly's like, I'm doing music now and I'm excited. I think it'll be great. Like she has no idea that she's about to be like completely dismissed by the music industry before she even enters it. And then Mandy has like all of her iconic movies are like about to come out. And she doesn't
Yeah.
know that she's gonna be like she's like Saved is coming out soon. I did this movie with Macaulay Culkin. Like it's just a really interesting time to interview them, you know?
Do you remember this coming out and going like, "Oh my god, they're friends? Mandy, Kelly, but they're so different."
um I remember being so because this also is like a really special issue to me. Like I just remember this one the most. It's besides Britney's, which is the most obvious. This
Yeah.
to me is like I remember this cover and I remember these pictures, them spray painting the glass. Like I remember all of that. So
Uh,
this was really stuck in my mind. I knew that they were friends only because of the Osbournes.
yes.
Because if you squint your eyes in some of the episodes of the Osbournes,
She's in a
Mandy is
few.
just like in Jack's room.
Okay,
Okay.
which so I did do just like a cursory Google, like did not do my one of our classic deep dives. So maybe you can fill in anything that you know. But I was immediately like, wait, am am I making this up that there were rumors of her and Jack dating or something? Because at first blush you would go, her, Mandy Moore and Jack Osbourne, but then you think about it and you're like, Mama loves a tiny, ugly musician. So that is not so out of the realm of possibility that she could have had at least just like, a little crushy relationship with him when they were young.
Yeah, so from what I remember, um they were rumored to be dating,
That's what I
and
thought.
obviously Jack really liked having that rumor out there.
Okay.
Um okay, there was like a short period of time where when they had become famous and like they had like really taken off, Jack like and I don't know if it was because maybe they wouldn't sign off to like really be featured on the show or like what the deal was, but he would have these like hot celebrity women like coming
Yeah.
in and out of his bedroom. And it was like a thing. And I would imagine that it must have been like like Kelly has Mandy over and Mandy saunters into Jack's room to hang out. You know, were you ever friends with siblings?
Yeah, for sure.
My best friends were siblings. Like my two closest friends throughout high school that are still like sisters to me, siblings. That, by the way, didn't get along and didn't like hanging out. So
Oh,
I would go to
perfect.
their, yeah, it was really fun for me. And I
Yeah.
would go to their house. I would go in one of their room, hang out with them for a few hours, and then I would leave and go into the other one's room. And it was literally like going into different universes.
Wow, that actually sounds really fun.
It was amazing. And they're so opposite. Like one of them now is like a butch lesbian. And the other one was always like a princess girly girl Regina George vibe. So I would like go into Regina George's room and spray myself with warm vanilla sugar and then go into her sister's room and it would be like a totally different experience. But if you grew up being friends with siblings, that was like a vibe. Like you would go to the
Yeah.
house and like hang out with both of them. And then sometimes maybe you'd all hang out together in like the living room or something, but it was two separate vibes, you know?
But if there was a boy, for one of the siblings, that was a whole different ball game.
Oh God, yeah.
And God forbid
Yeah.
he plays the acoustic guitar, then, oh my god.
God forbid he likes to jam out.
Ooh!
But I guess for those listening, hello, this is a podcast.
I hope you're listening.
I hope you're listening. The article opens with them saying everyone knows Mandy Moore and Kelly Osbourne are totally good friends, but do they ever drive each other crazy? Do they steal each other's clothes? Go hunting for boys? We gave them a list of our most burning questions and they interviewed each other.
Oh.
And this is really fun.
Well, first of all, I love the first picture of them in like Mandy with her red Lacoste polo, popped collar, and then Kelly with a little fascinator, a matching red fascinator. They look like a beautiful lesbian couple, you know?
They really do. They really do. Like, this is so perfectly like their like style vibe too. I love the pictures. They both have like an individual photo.
Oh, and it's
And
photographed by Mark Abrahams.
Shout out to Mark.
And styled by Lori Trott. Shout out Lori. Great work.
Shout out to Lori.
Love the work you did with that fascinator.
Mandy's giving like Gina Gershon. She's like cool, hot lesbian. She's got a wallet chain on and she's wearing like a lesbian vest with no shirt underneath and like ripped up denim.
Oh.
And she's like, her haircut is like very new because Saved isn't out yet.
Yeah.
But like she just did the hair. So her hair is newly black and it's newly short. And then Kelly is like, this is so Kelly Osbourne to me. Like,
yeah,
you know, Chanel
the big,
earrings,
the huge pearl costume earrings. The top is very, her style is very Charlotte Russe to me. And I don't think you normally can like pick out many like of the time celeb girls where you could say that's a Charlotte Russe queen,
Yeah. She's like Charlotte Russe. It's like the way that Charlotte Russe was like copying designer brands, like they were like copying Chanel for their jewelry and stuff. Kelly is like she's like wearing the Chanel earrings that Charlotte Russe would then make for the girls,
Oh yeah.
Which I love. Because the thing about Kelly's style that I always found really unique when we were teenagers, and like obviously looking back, it's like she got this probably from just having a rich mom who likes buying expensive clothes.
Yeah.
She was always very high-low. Like she would wear designer. She always wore Chanel. She always wore Dior. Like she had the saddlebags. Like she was one of the girls, but she would like mix it with like Hot Topic.
Yes. Yeah, she feels so mall, like eclectic mall culture.
Yeah.
Which really resonated with me because I was not someone who just wanted to stick with one store. I liked to really mix it all together. So I loved that she would do sort of the girly stuff with the Hot Topic, with the big like statement jewelry. It was fun.
It was fun. And sometimes it was, which I feel like this probably spoke to you, sometimes it felt like she was doing like a period thing. Like she would do like a flappery vibe or an 80s vibe. Like Kelly dressed, I feel like, in costume. Like she dressed in characters.
100%. And I'm wondering actually, like, to look back on myself, how much I was actually influenced by Kelly because I was such a huge Osbourne's fan. And I remember that I would, like, day to day going to school, I would have, like, a different sort of character outfit. Like, I would have my, like, Hot Topic, like, black baby tee with, like, a little, like, tiny red like schoolgirl skirt, and then another day I'd have the full Charlotte Russe Chanel knockoff.
Right. The tweed by Charlotte Russe does Chanel.
Yes.
You're like wearing a tweed suit that is like from Charlotte Russe though. But I love it. Like that is actually like the perfect description. Like she is a Charlotte Russe girl and her style is very mall. And maybe that's why she resonated so much. Like she resonated so much with young girls. Like I don't think she gets enough credit for like being a style icon for people our age in high school.
Yeah. And I do imagine that so much of that has to do with at like for that time period, what other young celebrity was, her body type,
Mhm.
dressing in really fun fashion, not just I mean, listen, we didn't have anyone with her body type at all, and
Yeah.
let alone in, like, big, fun, very teenager,
Yeah.
type clothes, like, the stuff that we could go to the mall and find.
Yeah, it felt attainable, like,
Yeah.
even though it was, like I said, Dior and, like, vintage Chanel from her mom's
Yeah.
closet, it still felt attainable, and it felt like, "Oh, like, I could do that. I could go to Hot Topic and to Express and, like, put that together."
Yeah, and you could picture it on yourself because it wasn't, God bless her, 5'10" Mandy Moore, where even if you could
Right.
find this outfit that she's wearing, you're not necessarily picturing yourself in it.
Now, Mandy, on the other hand, what do you think about somebody whose style I feel like I never hear conversations about?
Oh,
Were
ever.
you a Mandy Moore style girl? Like, do you remember being at all like, "I wanna look like this Mandy Moore look," or do you have, like, specific looks you remember or anything?
I when it comes to her style, I don't know. Maybe if someone showed me some photos in a lineup, I could be like, "Oh, yeah, I was into that." But it really doesn't jump off the page, but what I do remember being very influenced by the Mandy Moore short hair. And the way my mother had to just, like, hold me down to keep me from getting that haircut, and I'm like, "I don't know, I think I'd look good in it just like her, I think I'd look exactly like her," and my mom's like, "You are not you do not have the face shape to carry this off." But God, I loved that little shag, that little pixie shag. Are you into a Mandy Moore, short-haired Mandy Moore, pixie Mandy Moore?
Personally, I don't feel like Mandy Moore really, like, solidified her style until she cut her hair. That to me is when she felt a little more like to me, when I think about Mandy Moore, I think of somebody who was, like, very styled.
Oh, yeah.
You know? She was very, very styled. It was, like, real stylist looks, like, none of it stands out. None of it feels, like, authentically really her. And you could say that about a lot of the girls, but even still, like, I look at certain silhouettes and I, like, think of Britney or I think of Christina or I think of Jessica. I don't really do that with Mandy. Like,
No.
it just was never it never felt like, "Oh, that's such a Mandy Moore look." I've never, like, said that in my
No.
head.
And I wonder if it's because I think in general, like, Mandy Moore was mismanaged as far as branding goes when she was first at the outset, like, there wasn't any sort of strong point of view
Yeah.
with anything, until later on in her career where it's like, "Ah, yes, she wants to be Joni Mitchell. Now I
Yeah.
understand." Um But, yeah, I wonder if it was, like, a mismanagement or if it's kind of you know, I imagine Mandy Moore is someone who, when left to her own devices, is not exactly wearing anything groundbreaking, you know?
Yeah.
She's a
Not
very
sure if it ever really meant a
style-driven.
lot to her. Like, I don't know if it
Yeah.
ever was, like, important. And I do agree, I think a lot of it has to do with, like, mismanagement and, like I mean, I've said a million times, like, I think that the girls can all be broken down into, like, tier lists. Like, if MTV had, like a rating system, like a Romeo and Michelle, like A group, B group, whatever,
Yeah.
and Mandy's whole existence revolved around just being a part of the A group conversation. Like it was like she was
Yeah.
styled to look like she could belong with Jessica and with Brittany and Christina. It wasn't like, let's style this girl to feel like herself. It was like, put her in a belly top, make her blonde, flip out the ends of her hair, give her a CD player, put her in some capris. Like it was just very like, you know.
I guess that is the one thing that I do associate with Mandy Moore, is when she would have like the fanned out hair. Like that was always
Yeah.
like that is something I very much think of her.
Yeah. See, when I think of Mandy, I know that this is really weird. This is a little too inside baseball. This is the gayest shit I'm ever gonna say. But when I think of Mandy, I think more about like if you really like study her career and like look back in like her early days, she was very like chronically online.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Her
you know
website.
what I mean? Yeah, her website. And none of the other girls were doing that like at all. And even like when I was I was like reading old Mandy. I had a wild hair at my ass and I was like putting old pop star websites into the internet, the
The way
Wayback
back.
Machine. Hell, yeah.
I was
Like
putting it
confusing
into the
internet.
internet.
I was combining internet database and Wayback Machine. I was putting it in the Wayback Machine because I just was like, what did these girls' websites look like? And Mandy's is like night and day. It's her being like, hey guys, like sorry I didn't like check in earlier this morning. Like I was doing a photo shoot. Like I'll be back on like later tonight. I want you guys to make up some questions for me. Like she was doing like influencer shit before anybody else was.
Yeah, she really was. That girl, she was a real e-girl. She loved being online.
She was Angelina Jolie and what's that movie called? Hackers?
Oh yeah, Hackers.
Hackers. Hackers, the Mandy Moore edition.
Well, she actually doesn't she mentions her website in this. Like she says, I went on my website the other day and this guy was like, Mandy, can you get me a date with Kelly Osbourne? I'm like, please, no way.
She's so I like the idea of like behind the scenes when Mandy isn't like on, when she's not like having to be 17 magazine's good girl.
Yeah.
That with Kelly, she's like a bad girl. Like I would like to think that when the cameras are gone, she's like, oh, bitch, give me a cigarette now.
Well, I do think I agree, and I do think that this article is really interesting because we're very used to the other pop girls of her era, the Disney girls, their moment of like, and this is me bad, and forget about what you know. And all her people ended up doing was like, well, we could have you do something with Kelly and you're gonna swear a little bit and say how you two talk shit together. And that's her like, I'm gonna be bad and make it look so good.
She's like, can you put me in a black vest? No shirt underneath.
Mandy, come on. That's indecent.
You need a blouse.
Mandy, you always wear a blouse under your vest. No. Who are you? I don't know you anymore.
Oh my God.
This is like the real me.
When Christina said, I don't wear like floor length skirts to the ground, she was talking about Mandy Moore. Like truly. I mean, she was picturing like Mandy in her Candy video wearing that skirt to the floor, holding her little CD player.
Actually, when she said that, I did think, I wonder if she's talking about Mandy Moore.
I thought that.
There's no one else. Like, I wouldn't ever think of Britney in a floral maxi skirt.
No. Not even Jessica at that time. It felt like she was clearly talking about, she was making fun of Mandy being a good girl.
And honestly, Mandy didn't need to take any strays. She's just doing her best.
She was doing her best. And like also, I feel like a lot of her, what would have been like free spiritedness was taken by the fact that she was like dating shitty, weird men a lot. And it really affected her career. Like, that website turned into her just having to be like, guys, please don't call my boyfriend pedophile, like, every day. I mean,
the thing with Mandy Moore that I always say is she is the example that heterosexuality is a cancer and mama, it's terminal.
yeah.
Look at you, queen. No, what are you doing?
You really have to be straight to have an entirely gay family and be like, nope, I'm the straight one. Mom's gay, dad's gay, brother's gay, except me. I'm straight, I promise. Like, oh, I'm so sorry.
It's like, I'll prove it. These are my boyfriends. They're all ugly in only a way a straight woman could choose.
No, like literally, quite
They're
literally.
ugly and mean, and that is straight. I know
so
last
sad.
episode we said, I think everyone's gay and autistic. Mandy Moore is the only exception.
Yeah, truly. Wow, that makes me sad because she would be a really cool lesbian.
I mean, look at that hair. Look at that
I know. It's like straight out of the L Word, like, closet, truly.
I mean, she is really giving Shane in that outfit. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I feel like it was, wait, was the L Word even on yet in 2002? Probably not. But
I don't think so. I don't know. Queer as Folk was, but I don't think the L Word was yet.
But I mean, if not, I think they stole that season 1, episode 1 Shane outfit from this picture.
Can I also just point out my absolute favorite thing, which is that they realized that Mandy and Kelly met while hosting MTV's Spring Break together, and then they went out with a bunch of people to dinner in Cancun after leaving the MTV beach house. Just, I mean, stick a fork in me. I'm done. I mean, are you kidding me? That feels like it was written for
culture.
us.
That is culture. Yeah. That is history. Can you believe like such wonderful things were ever existing on the planet with us?
They say, Mandy goes, at what point after we met did you think that we'd become friends? And Kelly goes, it was really instant. And Mandy says, yeah, I just remember talking and it was like, wow, this is someone my age and she lives in LA and we can like talk. And Kelly laughs and she goes, and we both don't like the same people. So see, this is what I mean. Like, Kelly gets her to be messy. And Mandy goes, yeah, we bonded on gossiping about people we don't like, but don't name names. And Kelly says, no, I can't. I'll get in trouble. There was this one person who screamed at me, but I don't think I made her cry. And Mandy says, yeah, but they deserved it. And they both laugh. And she goes, okay, name 3 things that you like best about me. And Kelly goes, I like that we talk shit together. It's awesome. And Mandy says, I like that you're not afraid to speak your mind. And Kelly says, and I love blowing smoke up your ass like right now. It's really fun. Like, you know that they have the friendship where Mandy is constantly worried that Kelly will just blurt out the secrets that she tells her.
100%. Like, she was genuinely worried that some name, like the only name that they were kind of allowing to be talked shit upon was Nick Carter, which, you know, cosign.
Was that not incredible?
That story, that was like, okay, Mandy, where is that? Kelly says, you've done some really funny stuff with my brother Jack, too. Like the time you were in Mel's Diner and Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys was there and you guys sent your check over to him and wrote on the back of it, sorry, we don't have enough money to pay the bill, but we know you do. Will you please get it for us? And Mandy says, and he like yelled at the waitress, I don't believe you. And the waitress had to bring the check back to Jack and I. And we were like, all right, we're leaving. Who cares? Then he figured out it was for real and chased us out of the restaurant and was like, we should all hang out sometime. And Jack and I were like, ugh, no. And then Kelly says, no, he's like riding his brother's coattails now that his band's not good anymore.
I mean, shout out to Aaron. She got one in. It's not often that you hear people in these old interviews like say anything kind about Aaron. So
and God
it's nice to see. You know what I mean? Aaron got a little moment there that was nice, you know?
That one's for you, baby, up there.
Yeah.
I also can't imagine. Can you picture Jack Osbourne and Mandy Moore at Mel's Diner sending their check over to Nick Carter?
Dora.
This feels like some sort of fan fiction we wrote on
It's like
on an
I've
Angel
dreamt
Fire
it.
website. Yeah.
You know, I've seen it only in my dreams, but to see it as a reality, it's just like sometimes it's overwhelming how much pop culture that it was just to have lived in a time when we were just constantly being bombarded with like incredible pop culture like this that we overlooked.
Yeah.
And then you look back at little simple things like this, like who, unless you dig up this random issue of ELLEgirl, who would ever know that happened, that they had this weird interaction with Nick Carter and that he chased them out the restaurant and said, "Can we please be friends?" So
and the thing is like you can understand why he maybe like didn't believe the waitress, but the fact that they're like, no, we'll never hang out. When she says he was yelling at the waitress, you know that was not hyperbole. He was probably being a fucking dickhead, and they're like,
absolutely,
see you later, my guy.
He was dripping sweat. He had probably had 1 million boneless wings and lots of alcohol and lots of cocaine, and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck Mandy Moore tonight."
Yeah.
Definitely thought that she would like come running back, I'm sure.
Can you imagine how mad he was at the waitress, thinking that the waitress was trying to pull one over on him?
Oh my God. Fucking, I'm so happy I was never a Nick Carter girl. Like, I can truly say, as somebody who has contemplated, like, I've thought about fucking most men that I've encountered.
Sure.
I was never, ever that girl. No.
Have you ever been to Mel's Diner?
I don't think so.
I think we need to do a little Sunset Strip moment. Do Mel's Diner, go to Chateau Marmont. I don't know, go to Tower Bar, whatever.
Yeah, I have never been to Mel's Diner. I can't believe that, actually.
There's so much history that's gone on in Mel's Diner.
There's a part of this interview where, and this really threw me, where Mandy says, "Okay, who would you most like to work with on a movie, on an album, and on TV?" And then she goes, "Hey, remember that script that was done about our friendship? Did you ever end up reading it?"
That was so weird.
Like, a script about their friendship?
And then, but they don't qualify it at all. And then what does she say about it? She's like, Mandy says, "Hey, remember the script that was done about our friendship? Did you ever read it?" Kelly says, "I never read it. I heard it was really bad." They're like, "We're soulmates." And Mandy says, "Yeah, everyone exploits everything." I'm sorry, what?
Who wrote that script and where is it? Oh my God.
Can you imagine? I would kill to get my hands on that script and then stage a live reading of it.
Like, what's that movie about? Is like, what? And like, are they playing themselves in that movie, do you think?
I wonder. I mean, I guess it's probably, I bet they were. I bet that was, someone came to them and was like, "I wrote a buddy comedy about the two of you running around LA and you're the odd couple." And
wow, that's so interesting. I wonder who wrote that. It's like Diablo Cody's first script. It's sitting in like a trash bin or something in LA somewhere.
And they like skimmed it and they're like, "This sucks."
Yeah. I also love this little section, of course, where Mandy says they're talking about like college and like if they want to go or they think that they should, and they're both like decide that they like don't want to go to college. And then they ask like, well, what do you think is like the public's biggest misconception about you? And Kelly says, she says, I know what it is about you. And she says, I think that you're linked with the whole Britney Spears sweet white picket fence thing, and it's a bit unfair because it's not what you're about. And Mandy says, thank you. And she goes, I don't know what it is about me. And Mandy says, probably that most people, and Kelly goes, think I'm a bitch. And Mandy goes, well, yeah, and that you're like whiny. But really, you're a role model. How do you feel about that? And then they go on her talking about how she like never meant to be a role model or whatever. And then I just love this like I love this section where she like gives Britney a moment.
She
Where
does.
she's like, it's really kind. She says, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, it's flattering, but I think anyone who is remotely famous can be considered a role model. And Mandy says, it's true, but some people are more appropriate role models than others. And I think that you're a fantastic role model for teenage girls to look up to. And then she says, it's a lot to live up to. I feel really bad for Britney Spears because they made her out to be this white picket fence girl. And now that she's growing up and being how she wants to be, they're slamming her for it. I don't want to disappoint anyone. I don't need anyone's expectations. Looks at her list of questions and cracks up. And then this is really sad, kind of. They go, okay, this question is definitely for you, and it's not for me. How do you feel being a sex symbol?
Oh.
And like, what's sick is that she's right.
Yeah, there is a lot throughout the interview, like little things where it's like this is the awareness of how people view Kelly, and it's that, you know, she's not attractive and that she's whatever. And Mandy is trying to like throughout be like,
Yeah.
no, no. And it's a very interesting dynamic, I think, that
Yeah.
I think maybe a lot of women have perhaps been on one side or the other of, where you have like the really classically beautiful thin friend and then the one who is um alternatively attractive, shall we say, in whatever way that may be. And like the classic one being like, no, hey, and like feeling bad about it, but also trying to build them up and like tiptoeing around it. It's a difficult dynamic.
It's very Hannah and Marnie vibes,
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
And I
And
do agree with you. There's a lot of that in the article where you can tell that things are pointed in a certain direction
direction.
for both of them. And like they did add that question so that Kelly can ask Mandy what it feels like to be a sex symbol. It was like very clearly not meant for her. And like that's crazy
Yeah.
because she does the good girl thing and asks it accordingly because she knows like weird. It's early 2000 shit, you know?
Yeah, and it's a common dynamic, I think, that doesn't get talked about a lot, and but I can only imagine what it's like for those two as real friends who are also famous, where it's all just on such a bigger scale, where
Yeah.
Mandy is whenever they're together, I'm sure there's constantly things coming up about how beautiful she is. Like, Kelly says, in the very beginning of the article, something like, "Oh, well, we were all talking about you, like, you're the most beautiful person in the world." And I'm sure it
Hmm.
is just, like, whenever you're hanging out with a beautiful celebrity like that, I bet it's just constantly coming up, people talking about their appearance. And then when, like, no one's talking about you, it's
Yeah.
a very pregnant, omission.
Yeah, and I wish I feel like this is more of like a modern day thing, but like the most awesome thing about friendships like that is that it's like you're so opposite that you're bringing out something in each other that the other person needs. Like we were talking about
Yeah.
with Brittany and Christina, like
Yes.
they possess what the other one probably desires, and they kind of I think that this little section perfectly describes that where Kelly says what do you think is the biggest difference between us? I think that we're opposites. And Mandy says, well, kind of, yeah. And Kelly says, but I think that's why we're really good friends. We complement each other. Like, when you're dating someone, opposites attract. And I've discovered stuff about myself from hanging out with you. And you've discovered stuff about yourself from hanging out with me. And Mandy says, I agree. That's very well said. And she goes, so what do I do that drives you crazy? And Kelly says, everything. And she goes, no, I think that what drives me crazy is when I'll say or do something that I know you don't agree with. And I wish that you would just say, you're a bitch, but I know you won't. And I wish that you would just go, oh, shut the fuck up. And Mandy says, okay, well, now I will shut the fuck up. um, it's like, that's like what's cool about friendships like that, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think it's also I wonder in some of these situations, like, oh, we're so opposite, and it's actually, are you that opposite, or is the core personality actually very similar, but then because of your upbringings or your looks or whatever
Mm-hmm.
experiences that you've had thus far in your life has sort of molded you in a way that appears opposite, but
Right.
actually the core is there and you have the other person to bring out the real personality that has been maybe
Yeah.
shifted in whatever way or diminished in some way. Like, Mandy was someone who, like, growing up in this machine, this pop star machine, was, I'm sure, told, "Don't say a goddamn word. Like, shut up. Do what you're told. Your pretty face. That's, like, be a good girl." Whereas Kelly lived in a rock star family, didn't have to, like, hold herself up to the same standard, so she can bring that out of her.
Yeah, and it must have been really weird too, just like the way that they both became famous. Like the way Kelly became famous was like this new kind of, first of its kind thing
Yeah.
where she was like famous for being herself. And there was like a freedom that came along with her, like, you know, people expecting her to like be Kelly Osbourne all the time. And like,
Yeah.
you know, whereas with Mandy, she was put through such a machine and had all these like endorsements and all of this, millions of dollars behind her being a good girl and presenting a certain way. Like the way Mandy became famous was like very old school. Whereas with
Yeah.
Kelly, it was like very like new world. It's just interesting.
And it's crazy too because I don't think that the Osbournes get enough credit that they are really the first. Like, Kelly
Yeah.
Osbourne really is the first teenage girl to become famous off of her personality through a reality show. Like, people talk about The Simple Life, and God knows
Right.
Paris loves to say she was the first to do it, but
Right.
no, the like, it was The Real World, but that's like, I don't even consider that the same type of reality show. Like, to me, that's early iterations, it's docuseries.
Yeah.
The Osbournes is truly, like, the seed of modern reality shows as we know them today, and that was Kelly.
It was her. And I love that you said that because I definitely feel like, especially in modern times, similarly to how people talk about like being the first influencer and how everybody says that they were the first influencer now. Um, everybody says like whenever they talk about an old reality show, they'll be like, I mean, these are the early days of reality TV. There were no reality shows at this time. And it's like, well, sometimes that's not true. Like
Yeah.
sometimes they were like 10 years in when people
Yeah.
will make that statement. It's like, no, like the Osbournes literally
Literally.
literally is the first of its kind. And like you're right, she is the first teenage girl to become famous for just being herself on TV, for better or for worse. And it's crazy to think about just like how different everything would be if MTV had not decided to like film. Because for those who don't know, like the Osbournes only exist because they did a Cribs episode and the crew was like, they're really insane. And those kids are saying fuck a lot. And that might be great for our network. And that was it. But had they not given them a random Cribs episode or had that random idea, we might not even have Real Housewives. Like, who knows what the world would look like?
Yeah. Have you ever done a rewatch of the Osbournes? Like, I have not seen it since it was on the air for some reason, and I
Yeah, I
was
have.
obsessed with it.
I do a semi-annual.
Really? So it's worth okay, I need to revisit it because I loved it.
It's better now.
People used to say that my family was like the Osbournes, which I took as a compliment.
And by that they mean that you just like putzed around and said
and,
gibberish
and
and ate
screamed at each
Chipotle.
other.
You had remotes that were the size of iPads and just spent hours touching them and not doing anything.
Yeah.
No, it's better now. You would like it so much better now. It's like, because it's all slice of life. It's all like
And that's
being
my
dropped in. There's nothing better than that. Just no plot, just hanging loose.
mm.
Loose plots like Ozzy's going on tour or Kelly's birthday. She's got to go find something to wear. That's the episode, and that's what I love.
You know what? I think the next generation of reality show viewers, the ones who are like saying summer house should be fun and no one should argue with each other and everyone should just be nice. It's like, oh, do you just want true slice of life with absolutely like no friction at all? May I suggest going back in time and revisiting some of our best slice of life reality shows like The Osbournes.
Yeah, because we used to not need plots.
Yeah.
We used to not need a villain, a voice of reason. Like we didn't need like friends archetypes,
No.
tropes on our shows. It was just interesting, weird people being so entertaining and so authentically themselves that it was just fun to watch somebody be authentically themselves on camera. It wasn't about fighting. There was no cliffhangers, no to be continued. And
Ugh.
it was literally, I mean, there are literally episodes about that show, or I'm sorry, episodes of that show that are about nothing, but it's so entertaining.
See, I think what people need to be doing in the current era of reality shows is I do miss the slice of life stuff. But I also love my plot-driven, dirty-ass fighting shows, where unspeakable things happen to real people. And I think that we need to have like a real delineation between, okay, these are gonna be your shows where all of the juicy stuff happens, and then here's your shows with some characters, and they're gonna be a half hour long. Let's return to a half-hour reality show.
Please.
And we just have little nibble bites where we're just either living in a world, like an aspirational world of, like this was an hour long, but like Gallery Girls. We can do our
Mhm.
aspirational, really not much conflict shows, or our Osbourne's half hour long, Girls Next Door half hour long. We're just like in a little kooky world. And then we can have our juicy Bravo shows.
I 100% agree because I feel like there used to be a real clear, it's like you would watch the Osbournes, or
Mhm.
if you wanted that other thing, you would like watch Laguna.
Exactly.
And it was like, but I will say, I just sounded like Dorit. But I will say,
I will say,
excuse me, Tara, I will say.
you're a cunt.
I love Dorit. I do think that, like, even though I love that slice of life time, I do think that it's specific to MTV. Like, I
Yeah.
love slice of life reality TV, but MTV did it. The editing of an MTV show was just absolute perfection. Like, they could
Mhm.
take the simplest thing. I constantly use the example of Jessica Simpson going to Home Depot. That's like a full episode. They used to be able to take the most mundane little nothing of something and like just fan the flame on like the nuance of it. Like Ozzy ordering Chipotle. And that could be a 10-minute thing. But like
Mhm.
they would find a way to really milk like what made that so special.
Yeah. Well, and you know what it was? I think to a small degree, it was almost like, I don't know if maybe this isn't exactly right, but almost like a Larry David-ness of it where
Yes, yeah.
the pacing would be like, we are we are looking at the reactions of everybody around, and we're really, like, sitting in a moment of someone of a character being confused and or saying something stupid, and we're not, just, like, keeping up to the next thing, the next, um, which I
Yeah, you like
do
linger on something.
linger.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the lingering, and that kinda pacing, I think, brings such great comedy, but I do wonder, in today's day and age, the way people have no attention span, would that be too much like, "That's boring?"
See, I think the people long for it. I think even the
Yeah.
people that don't know they long for it, they do. And I think a lot of people's favorite moments on the shows that we love now are those
Mhm.
little moments where you get that, like just
Yeah.
like by chance. And
Yeah.
like it feels so special to have caught that. I think people long for it. And I think like one of the things that made it feel so special at the time was that we didn't know a lot about these people. And, these interviews like this are like what we knew of famous people. It's like we get little
Yeah.
tiny tidbits. So then to see Jessica Simpson in her house doing
Oh,
her laundry, her actual clothes, like her dirty room, what she talks to Nick like, how she eats, like that was just like, oh my God, like I can't believe I'm privy to this. It felt like you were seeing something that you shouldn't be seeing. And I think it would really benefit people today to not be so reliant on like social media to have those moments. Like if you could really have those just human moments on
yeah.
reality TV again that are not narrative driven, where it's like, I'm meeting so and so for lunch to talk about yesterday's lunch. Like I miss just people doing dumb shit and it not being a big
Yeah.
deal. Like we're going to get sushi. We might talk about, or like, I'm helping so and so clean her room. Like the amount of times I've watched Kelly Osbourne just like putz in her bedroom
I
on that
want
show.
Putz television. Give us Putz
Yeah.
television.
The Putz Television Network. That's it. We start it.
We putter and we putz.
It's true. That whole family is just people that putz. Like Sharon's like putzing around with their dogs, and Ozzy's putzing with the remote, and Kelly's putzing in her dirty room, and Jack is
God.
putzing with like a BB gun in his room, and nothing's going on. It's just interesting people.
Yeah. Oh, God. And, yeah, I guess you're totally right that I think people don't know that actually that is what they want, and I think to a degree, like, something like Love Island is a really good example of
Mm,
why that is something that people want and don't know they want it, because or Big Brother, like, something
right.
where it's like, "No, we want all of this," and it's very often nothing's happening, it's just, wandering around in a bikini making avocado toast for your partner. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's not that interesting, but you're watching it 5 days a week? Like,
Right.
I don't know,
And if
I
the
wanna
person's interesting, it's
yeah,
interesting. If they're interesting, it's interesting.
and I wanna see how people do their laundry to see,
Hello.
oh, they've never like, they don't know how to do their laundry well, or, like, this is how I don't know, all of those little mundane activities
Hmm.
and just seeing how they really do it, because now we've gotten to a point where social media is just so boring.
Yeah, like it's not the authenticity is like so inauthentic now that
Yeah.
it's like I don't I don't know. It's not the same. And I do think that there's a difference in how we used to be endeared to these people versus
Mhm.
now because of that, the mundane kind of putzing around. Like that stuff endears you to people more than like a half semi-scripted argument. Those are not, and
They're
like you
not the
said, like
same.
when I watch a whole season of like Big Brother, it's like, yeah, I've mostly watched people on the live feed like literally putzing, playing pool, and like talking about their family and swimming in the like. But I become extremely endeared to these people because they're like human, they're
Yeah.
real. I don't know them only through arguments and drink throws.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think of something like Sister Wives where post-COVID, where they had no money left to actually shoot the show, so they would just, give them iPhones and a tripod and say, like, "Get to work, bitches." And
Right.
one whole episode would just be a conversation.
Hmm.
It's like, I don't know, I kind of like just sitting in a moment and, like, you don't have to punch it up for me. I'm kind of interested in just watching people exist.
Well, don't you think that's why we love the early seasons of Housewives? Because it was about
Yes.
mundane putzing around. It was not
Yes.
about I'm meeting so and so at for dinner to talk about our fight. It
Mhm.
was literally women doing just dumb shit at their house. It was Gina Keogh cleaning her island
It
and being yelled
it's
at by her
rich
abusive
ladies
children.
it's rich ladies puttering. That's what
Literally.
the show was, rich ladies puttering.
Yeah. Lynn Curtin walking into a wall in her like living room over and over. I'm like, yeah, I'll take an hour of that.
It's like, yeah, I'd be happy to watch you make a fashionable wrist cuff, please.
Out of like tinfoil.
I could watch 10 hours of that.
But that's why we were so endeared to them. Like our OG housewives, like it's such a weird thing to even like somebody like Vicky, for example, to watch old Vicky, to watch like Vicky in the old style of the show, and then
Mm,
in the new style of the show where it's not about putzing and it's about like semi-scripted setup drama, like we're going to goat yoga or whatever.
yeah.
It is so crazy because the reason that we're endeared to Vicky is not because of that. It's because of those years of watching her like do work in her office with Lori behind her and like just dumb shit. It doesn't always have to be so like, you know.
Yeah, like, one of the most iconic moments for Vicky is her just melting down over the family van that she rented
Hello?
for a vacation for her family. Like, more of that, please.
Please. That's like, oh, that's such a perfect example. Like that would be either edited out or it would be just like not as emphasized, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh, Kelly. Kelly and the Osbournes, true pioneers.
I can't suggest a rewatch enough. You really
I'm
should.
gonna
It's on YouTube.
I'm gonna oh, it's only on YouTube? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get to firing up that old YouTube.
Yeah. It's so addicting. Oh my God. Uh there's an episode, one of my favorite episodes I actually just kind of recently rewatched, where it's like Kelly's birthday and there's like all this planning around Kelly's birthday and the whole episode is just about them planning her birthday. Like nothing crazy. And she's like going out. She's finally going out, and Ozzy's like so worried because he knows that she's gonna go out and like get all fucked up and do drugs. And she's about to leave the house, and he's like, he's like, he's like, call me if you need anything, and don't fucking get in the car with anyone, and don't fucking take anything that anybody gives you, and don't fucking talk to anyone on the street, and don't fucking get in and talk to any boys. And he goes, and get this, and he hands her this literal like a stack of money that like Tony Soprano would like it was like thousands of dollars, and she was like she couldn't even hold it in her hands, and she was like, Dad, I don't even want this, I don't need all this. He's like, take the fucking money just in
I
case you don't. It
remember
was
that.
so things like that. I'm like, this is really watching like a real family. Like I don't need like
Yeah.
a villain to saunter in the house and throw a glass or something, or you know what I mean, like
No, no, I just want to watch these kooks exist.
yes, kooks.
You know what's interesting? I didn't realize this until a couple hours ago. Did you know that Mandy Moore's son is named Ozzy?
What? No,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Whoa.
And I watched a quick clip of her on Jimmy Fallon, and she says, "Oh, and his name's Ozzy," and she's like, "Well, not like Osbourne, though we love Black Sabbath." Sure.
Whoa. I didn't know that.
Are they still friends, Mandy and Kelly?
I am literally looking it up right now.
Because that is a friendship that I could see exploding in a fireworks display.
You know what they would absolutely destroy is like a podcast or some kind of like something together.
Oh, that would be nice.
I mean, I see that they were definitely still hanging out in the 2010s, but I don't see anything recent. Like I can see 2012, 2013. Wow. I do wonder though, like that's so interesting.
I wonder what happened. If anybody has any intel.
Yes, please let us know.
Ugh.
I wish that Mandy had signed off on just like being on the Osbournes because she was like always just little glimpses, like just little moments, but it would be really cool if like there were full episodes of her.
Yeah.
Just like in Jack's room. I'm like, what do you and Jack talk about in there?
Just like a
Why are you
beautiful
in there?
gazelle like running around in the background.
In his pitch black leather covered room.
Oh my God. Oh.
Well, this was fun.
This was really fun. Is there any? Oh, what?
Yes, I just have one more little tiny quote before we end. I just think that this is so iconic. Kelly asks Mandy, what's going on with your movie career? Because at this point, it's like very new. I think she just did a Walk to Remember. And she says, I have a film coming out on Valentine's Day called How to Deal. Then I have an independent film with Elijah Wood called Try 17. And I'm going to start filming in Vancouver with Jenna Maloney and Macaulay Culkin and Patrick Fugit called Saved. And she says, well, Jack and I will come to visit you. Yeah. So she has all her best movies coming out and she doesn't even know. Saved?
Oh, I love Saved.
My God.
I love Saved. God, her whole life was ahead of her.
I know.
Had she already been put in music jail by her boyfriend at this point?
I don't think so.
Wow, she had it all, including a friendship with Kelly.
Including a friendship with Kelly and a nice strong Neutrogena contract.
Oh, that's a girl who has it all.
Are you kidding?
You know, I'd rather be Mandy than any one of those pop girls, and I hope she had some awareness of like maybe she wasn't the biggest pop star, maybe that didn't pan out, but in the end, maybe that's for the best, and she had it all. She really did.
For sure. Like when you read the girls' books, when you read Brittany's book and Jessica's book, and one day when Christina writes one, I can't even imagine. It's like, in a world of like belly button showing blonde little pop tarts, being a Mandy Moore is a safe bet, at least.
And all your family is gay.
Oh, a dream.
No one has it better than Mandy. Now, she had a tough time for a little bit with her with Mr. Ryan Adams, but but she came back around, and now she's back to living a very nice life.
Ageless, beautiful, happy.
Oh. Now, Kelly, I do pray for her. I pray for her.
Yeah.
If I prayed, I'd pray for her.
Yeah. If I believed in that, I'd do it.
But I'll light a witch candle for her. I hope she can get on the other side of it. I think Mandy needs to like saddle up and check in.
She needs girls around. She needs her girls.
She needs a girl needs her girls.
She's nothing without. Well, on that note, thank you guys for listening to our little podcast. And Yeah. Do
Yeah.
anything to add?
And, please rate, review, subscribe. It really helps.
We love you so much. Kisses on the cheek. Mwah, mwah.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Bye.